Hello and welcome to my weekly update. Not much to talk about today, so I have actually some other things that I want to put into this just to not make it too short. First, subscribers. It's been kind of quiet lately. I haven't gotten any new subscribers recently, which is a shame. I guess my two newest series didn't really catch on, Eva Cash and Grey Matter. It's a shame because it's really fun. Eva Cash is one of those games, where it's just so bad that it's good. I'm having a lot of fun playing that with that game, even though it's really crappy. And Grey Matter. Oh my god, that's one of my favorite games at the moment I'm playing. It's really, really, at least for the channel, it's really amazing. I recorded the videos yesterday for tomorrow, and I was like looking forward to it all week to record those videos. So yeah, check out Grey Matter. It's like only the first session, the first four videos been up. Tomorrow will be some more, but you can still catch up. There's been recent crashes in some of my games. Both Stalker crashed, but that's expected. Stalker is kind of a flawed game, unfortunately. I could have had a patch, which I didn't, because this I didn't get it installed. It's one of those games where you don't really get told, like, hey, there's a patch, like you do with a lot of modern games. So I didn't know there was a patch, and if I install the patch, my saves will be gone, so there won't be any patch. But luckily, there's not been a place in the game where it constantly crashes, and that's. But Eva Cash, I really hope that was a one-time thing. But that crashed as well. You saw the last, if you've seen the series, the last video, the game crashed, and hopefully, I haven't tried playing it again, but hopefully that will not be a problem. Hopefully, I will be able to proceed with the game. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go, like that. Uh, uh, Nothing new in the Minecraft world. I really should build some more, but I haven't really been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. I don't know why. I still love the game, so I don't know. Anyway, what else? There was something else. Yeah, Duke Nukem. I was going to be playing the vanilla Duke Nukem, but just as I was about to sit down, it said that something wasn't working. It said game.con, one of the I think one of the files that makes the game run. I guess it's the game rules or something like that. But it wasn't working. It said there was some errors in it, and so that was a problem. I'm going to reinstall the game, and hopefully that will work. But I'm afraid to reinstall and lose a lot of saves and stuff like that. But I think it'll be okay. I mean, in any event, you will get new Duke Nukem videos next Tuesday? Tuesday. I was a little confused. Damn it. Speaking. So yeah, there's been a lot of, like I said, there's been a little. My channel hasn't been going well these lately, and I apologize about that. It's not. I mean, the crashes. Most of it isn't actually my own fault. The crashes is not my fault. The down server time on Fallen Earth is not my fault. The corrupted game with Duke Nukem 3D, that might be my fault. I'm not sure. But yeah, but today, if you saw earlier today, marked the return of Hudson Hawk for the Commodore 64. And I'll try to be more frequent, more stable with that, so we can move on to another Commodore game. So yeah, but that's actually all I have to say about for the channel. So now let's talk about something else because I'm bringing back two things that I used to do. This is not gonna be a thing that I'll do in every update. This will be something I'll do sometimes, especially when there isn't that much to do. And the thing that is, that it's going to be game reviews and YouTube Spotlight. And I'm gonna start with game review because I recently, like Tuesday, Wednesday, what day is today? It's Friday. Yeah, Wednesday. I completed Alan Wake. I just did that on my own, not for the channel. I mean, if I recorded that with Fraps, it would lag like a motherfucker because that game is really heavy on the graphics card. Um, Mostly both due to the graphics itself, but also due to a lot of effects constantly in that game. But I'm gonna kind of go over the game and talk about the good parts and the bad parts. The good greatly outweighed the bad greatly. So it was an amazing game. I really, really loved it. I didn't play the DLCs. I have both DLCs, but I thought I would just play the main storyline and then at some point later return to the DLCs. I do that a lot where I play the main storyline and then sometime later install it again and play the DLCs. Uh, because I like to get some to play different lot of different games. So returning to a game for the DLC seems better than just keep playing it. I don't know. But yeah, let's talk about the good things about Alan Wake, and let's start with the big one: the story. The story is amazing. I haven't seen that great storytelling in a game in a long, long time. It was really great, and even though the game is kind of linear and heavily scripted, that actually works. They've made that part of the story. That was I really, really, really loved the story. It was and the way it was told. It was amazing. Uh, Secondly, the graphics. I'm not really a graphics kind of guy. I'm not really cared that much about graphics, but I do recognize great graphics when I see it. And Alan Wake had great graphics, but more importantly, it had great environment, great settings, great surroundings. It was really nice to look at, and I'm not talking about the graphics. I'm talking about the things, the nature, the town, stuff like that. And you don't really see many games that takes place in a setting like that. I think it was in Colorado. Not really sure, but yeah, I mean, temperate forests and lumber mills, old mines, ranger stations, uh, trailer parks, like small town USA and stuff like that. You don't really have many games that takes part in that, and also it felt like a place that you would go. You could easily go, and I miss that in games. I want to see more, you know, realism. I'm not talking about it. I mean, yes, the game Alan Wake wasn't really a realistic game, but the settings were very realistic. And I want to usually when someone when there's like forests and stuff like that, a temperate forest, it's mostly like fantasy games. Other and if it's like if a first person normal first person shooter or third person game wants to use kind of like a foresty setting, it's usually jungle or something like that or tropical. So it was really refreshing to see something like that and such a setting. Really, really loved that. The gameplay, oh my god, that was incredible. The whole idea about you have to shine the light on them to make them killable, that was amazing. But I thought at first I thought, oh, this is gonna get old quick because I thought it was only going to be the flashlight. But it wasn't. Like there was three different kind of flashlights. I think maybe four. No, three. Maybe four. I don't know. And then you also had the flashbangs, and you had flares and a flare gun, and sometimes you used like what's it called, a spotlight and stuff like that. And that just made the game feel more varied. Because like I said, I thought it was only gonna be like the flashlight, but that was I really liked that. There was some flaws in the combat system and stuff like that, but we'll get to that in a moment. Last thing I'm gonna mention here in the good part is that the driving was kept to a minimal. There wasn't really that much driving, which I really loved because the driving there were a few action sequences, but mostly the driving was to get from point A to point B, which I actually enjoyed rather than having a lot of driving based gameplay. That was one of the things, just a small side note, that was one of the things I really hated about Sleeping Dogs. Because most of what I've seen about Sleeping Dogs was the fighting and the parkour and stuff like that. So I thought that that would be the majority of the game, but it seemed that driving was the most of the game was actually driving. Most of the missions and it were had to do with driving. So it kind of felt like GTA Hong Kong. So it was nice to see a game that had driving, but didn't really use it that much, but just to a minimum, and that was really refreshing. Now we come to the bad stuff. And it might seem that I'm mentioning more bad than good, but that's because all the good were like big things, the story, the graphics, the environment, stuff like that. That was like huge things. And they all worked out, which means, in my opinion, the game works. Now these are smaller things that could have made the game even better if these had been changed. And the first two things are huge, but not compared to the good things. But the first one was, for some reason, they made the run and dodge button the same, which was kind of stupid because when there was no enemies around, you could run like a motherfucker. You could run wherever you wanted. But when there were enemies near, you dodged instead of running. You would eventually run, but first you would dodge, which meant that the only time when you really needed to run to outrun enemies, you couldn't because you would dodge. So I died so many times because of that, because I tried to outrun them, but I couldn't because he would dodge. That's my impression of dodging instead of running. That was really, really dumb. I don't know why they thought about that. I think this is because, once again, this game was probably optimized for the console, which has fewer buttons. But they could have changed it for the PC version, and it would have been better on the PC, but they didn't. I don't know if that is the reason, but that's a possibility. But yeah, the other thing, the major thing was the fact that there were no melee. So if you ran out of ammo, you were fucked, especially because you couldn't outrun the enemies. You just have to continue dodging them. But what the fuck? You can continue dodging. Eventually, you would die. And there were a lot of times where you would miss. At least I would. I'm not saying I might be bad at it, but there were always a lot going on the screen. A lot of visual effects and a lot of light sources and darkness and like blurry screens. So sometimes it was a little hard to see, especially where you're supposed to aim. So you would miss a lot. At least I would. So I ran out of ammo sometimes, and then knew I was fucked because, like I said, there weren't any melee. There were axes lying around, machetes lying around, but you couldn't pick them up. You had to. So if you, like I said, if you ran out of ammo, well, bye bye. So that was stupid. Then we have some few minor things. One was the fact that whenever you would see a weapon and pick it up, you'd automatically switch to that weapon, even if you already had that weapon. That's a stupid feature. I mean, it was a minor thing, but it was pointless. I think if you pick up a weapon you don't have, or a completely new weapon, yes, then it should switch to that weapon. And I could see how that would be a good thing, although I probably would prefer it didn't. But switching to a weapon every time you picked it up, even though you already had it, that's just stupid. There's some things that is something I see as problems with most third-person shooters. The first thing was particularly bad in Alan Wake, and that is the ability to turn around. you turned so slowly, and that is of course because you have to turn around yourself and not just turn your view. So that will be slower. You can see this is much faster than this. Actually, I don't know if it is, but it was really slow, really slow turning, and there wasn't like a button where you can press that it will like, ooh, quick turn. Actually, turn all the way around. And that was really annoying because this is Alan Wake was a game, is a game where enemies will come at you from all sides, and they usually extremely fast. So a lot of the time you would get hit without even a chance of attacking because you couldn't actually. There were enemies coming from from here, and I was be watching here, and oh, I'd be attacked, and then there should have been like a faster movement around, or at least a button that would make you turn around fast. I've seen some games have that a button, special button for quick turnarounds. And the two other ones I talked about were that are these are that I said there was three things that actually I might not have said. Anyway, there's two more that is something that is wrong with most third-person shooters, third-person games. One of them is the fact that the environment, the things behind you, can obstruct your viewing. Like this, for instance. Oh, this actually doesn't do it. But yeah, seeing. Oh, here we go. Oh, that's me. But yeah, like a tree in the background would block your view. That's so annoying. Couldn't they at least? I would have made it so that it would be like semi see-through. You should be know that it was there, but like semi see-through, so that you can actually see what's going on, especially with walls. I hate when you in a third-person game end up behind a wall and you suddenly can't see yourself. And the other one is kind of like that, but that's when you get trapped in a corner and you once again can't see yourself. Now, if it was a first-person game, you would know that this would be where you were hitting, no matter if you were in a corner or not. But if you couldn't see yourself, then you wouldn't know where you were hitting. So that was really annoying. I felt that in Alan Wake, if you were trapped in a corner, you might as well just say, okay, kill me now. You could get out sometimes, but most of the time you would just end up dead. Oh, I killed the torch. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, torch. There we go. So yeah, I think that is pretty much my review of Alan Wake. I mean, yes, play it. It's amazing. It's a kind of mixture between action and horror. I actually felt this was more horror than most of the so-called horror games. It wasn't scary, but then again, most horror movies aren't scary either. It had a Stephen King vibe to it, which also the movie started up with a Stephen King quote, so I think that was intentional. But yeah, Alan Wake, play it. It's amazing. There's another game in the series, Alan Wake, American Nightmares. It's not a sequel. It takes place in the same universe, and they are working on a sequel, as far as I know. So I'm looking forward to that. I haven't played American Nightmare, but I'm looking forward to that as well. Now, the last thing I'm gonna do is another thing I did a lot back in the day was a YouTube spotlight, where I spotlight another YouTube channel. And the channel I've chosen for this is a channel I only found, like, I think it was a week ago. It's not even a week ago. It's a really amazing channel. It's called The Girl from Oz, as in AUS, not OSAT, as in Australia. It's a girl from, I don't know how old she is, it doesn't matter, but it's a girl from Australia, and she plays video games. And she is really good at it. Not at playing. Well, she's good at playing too, but she's really entertaining. You can feel how much she likes playing. She lights up. You see her light up many times and like be like all excited about it. That sounded really weird. Sorry about that. But she but yeah, her passion for what she does seems so amazing. Unfortunately, she has a lot of unfinished series, and she tends to kind of, I guess, take a long time to finish a series. But she does have some finished series right now. I am currently watching her playthrough of Alice Madness Returns, by the way, a lot better than my playthrough. If you're thinking about watching my playthrough, go watch hers instead. It's so much better. She does it amazingly. But yeah, that's a great example of how long she sometimes takes to play do a series. There's a break in her playthrough that I think a year where she didn't play it and she didn't continue. But at least she continued it, and it is finished. I have not finished to play watching it yet, but amazing stuff. The girl from Oz, check her out. The channel is still active. The last video they had was like 4 days ago, 5 days ago. But she's kind of busy with she works a lot because her and her boyfriend, husband, partner, I don't know what it is, but they are trying to like build a house, so they need a lot of money, and it'll take a lot of time and effort and stuff like that. So, but yeah, check her out, the girl from Oz. Really, really awesome channel. But yeah, hope you liked this weekly update. It was a little different because I did a game review and I did like a spotlight. And I'll probably, if there hasn't been any changes in my games next week, I'll probably do the same. Like do another spotlight and do a, game review. I might do some movie reviews and stuff like that. Kind of get some more into to this. So yeah, remember to check out some of my to check out my different series. I mean, if you haven't yet, please give Grey Matter and Eva Cash a chance because they're both of them really awesome games in different ways. So yeah, and remember to like, favorite, and subscribe if you haven't. I will see you next Friday for more updates, and I'll see you tomorrow for more gaming. Have fun, enjoy life, and etc. etc. Bye.